record. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, all 10,000 listeners, welcome back to another wonderful episode of A Hill to Die On. This is episode 7. They said we couldn't do it, but we're fucking doing it anyway. Yeah, they said we couldn't fucking do it. Don't believe the haters. We missed last week, but don't worry about that. We've got a great episode for you because as usual, things are happening to Brett and they're out of his control. So we can't wait to talk about that.
That's our best content.
So what's going on, boys? Just a little check-in and then we'll get into like things
John,
that are happening.
I don't think John's audio is very. John, try talking.
Oh, is my audio messed up?
It's a little.
I have a brand new shiny little mic. Is that because there's a little mic that I was waiting to surprise you guys with?
Let's fucking.
Now I'm going to Amazon. I'm buying one right now. God damn it.
Brett moved, so his mic is stuck at his mom's place right now. But let's go, John. Let's fucking go, man.
I feel like a true professional, and I have to immediately take this moment to apologize to all our listeners for the horrible audio that I've been subjecting you to for 6 whole episodes. That was selfish of me, and it was wrong, and your ears didn't deserve that. So, here's going forward. I hope you can forgive me, and I hope this crystal clear audio and this sultry smooth voice can,
That's a nice mic. We're gonna give just a round of applause for John for just going above and beyond, man. That's what it only took 6 episodes, but fuck it, above and beyond. Let's go. Hell yeah. All right. That just leaves Brett. Then I guess Brett doesn't have a fucking microphone, so I guess he has to figure that out.
Buying one as we speak.
Okay.
How did you lose yours in the?
I didn't lose it. It got packed into a box as we were moving, and then everything happened with my fiance's father-in-law's kidney transplant.
Yeah.
And we had to move really quickly, so we couldn't organize what was in what box. And there's just 15 boxes and furniture and everything, and it's buried in one of those boxes. And I had no time to go through and search.
I got a few great topics that we should talk about this episode. But quick little check-in. What is going on with everybody? I know Brett's obviously, he's in Tampa now. John, I don't know if there's any life updates you want to give, but as far as me, I just want to give myself a round of applause. I sent this in the group chat, but nobody gives a fuck, but I care. I just hit 345 today, bench press, personal rep. No big fucking deal, just two Americans, 2 regular size Americans, just bench pressing them. No biggie. Probably like 4 or 6 Brits stacked on top of each other. Not a big deal.
That's not a stereotype for British people.
No, that's not a stereotype. I'm just saying that British people are probably likely way less than Americans.
No, they do. And honestly, it's not a stereotype, but I have found that I'm taller here than I feel in the States, if that makes sense.
What's going on with your mic? I feel like every time you
just need to bring it closer,
it's blurring out.
He needs to bring it closer to his mouth.
Yeah, he does, but it's also blurring out.
It's just in the wrong spot, and it's because I'm eating, and I'm hoping that if you guys can hear me okay, well, it's just standing.
Yeah, you're gonna need to eventually bring it. It is cool. You would need to bring it closer to your mouth just because it's, space. What's it called? I don't know, but it matters where it is essentially.
No. I mean, I know that, but as long as you guys can hear me okay.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I'm almost.
So what kind of mic did you get?
I think it's Audio Technica, and it's a dynamic.
You got a good
cardioid mic.
All right,
I was gonna do a compressor mic, and then I was reading that you just need like a proper sound studio for that, because otherwise it just picks everything up. So here we are.
John, that's great. Anyways, that's my update for the time being. Anybody else got anything?
I mean, congratulations, Comey. It's always nice to make some progress in the gym. And I remember the first time I bench pressed.
Okay, well, don't say it like that. That's fucking, it's crazy.
No, I'm absolutely kidding. I don't have anywhere near 345 bench press. It's very impressive.
I bench pressed. Yeah. It's like a small, it's like a little Scion, like a little tiny car, maybe without the motor, but just the body of the car.
No, I think you're way off on that, but it is impressive nonetheless.
Oh, I mean, a little tiny little smart car. They probably weigh like 700 pounds or something like that. You take
Smart.
out the motor.
So more than double what you lifted.
No, but I'm just saying you take out the motor. I could probably look. Okay, in a very intense situation, a very intense situation. Let's say a baby is trapped under a fucking car, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would
Mhm.
probably, I wouldn't bench the car, but I'd probably be able to lift the car slightly, maybe help the child.
I believe that you could lift the car slightly. Don't get me wrong, but
go.
claiming that you could bench a small car is
Look, all I'm saying is if the right situation showed itself, I'd probably be able to bench the car.
Brett is busy buying a mic, otherwise he would be backing me up on this, I think.
No, I'm purchasing a microphone right now.
Yes, see.
I think I could bench a car if the right situation showed itself. And it also depends on the type of car it is. I'm talking like a little, those tiny little smart cars.
Yeah, I do know the car you're talking about, and I still just think it's so far beyond what
I think you should Google how much those smart cars weigh, and I think I'd probably be in the right here.
Is this a trap question? Like, have you already Googled this?
No, not at all. I'm very confident after lifting 345 pounds one time that I think that I could, I think I could easily bench a small, tiny smart car.
All right, smart car weight.
Like lift it fully off the ground.
Okay, yeah. So a smart car weighs 1,550 pounds.
I could do that.
Comey.
I'm not benching it. I'm just lifting it off the ground. I can lift it off the ground.
I mean, I don't know, man. Is your deadlift significantly higher than your bench? Like 3 times higher than your bench?
Probably like 8 times. Goddamn. Nah, I don't fucking know actually. But I still stand. I think I could lift. I could probably lift it if I needed to.
I don't know why I'm demeaning your achievement. This is cool, and I'm very happy for you.
You're demeaning my achievement because I'm literally saying I can bench like 4 times that whatever I just.
Yeah, you are claiming on a lot. It's like me saying like, oh yeah, I had a really good sparring session today. I could probably knock out Conor McGregor.
Look, all I'm saying is Jake Paul can fight, or is it Jake Paul, Logan Paul? I don't fucking know. If Jake Paul can fight Mike Tyson, which they're gonna do that. Then I'm sure you can probably get in the ring with Mike. Iron Mike.
I do not want to get in the ring with Mike Tyson.
How many minutes do you think you could last in the ring with Mike Tyson?
Hang on, have you seen him? Have you seen him practice? I almost said rehearsing. Have you seen him practicing?
That's such a fucking theater guy.
yeah, that's
Have you
wild.
seen Mike Tyson rehearsing his punches? His deadly fucking punches. Have you seen Mike Tyson
he's
rehearsing
working with
he's
working with the director instead of a coach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I got calved in the fight.
yeah. There's I've seen the video of him kind of sparring with the trainer. And that was like a 3-year-old video. The last video I saw of Mike Tyson, he was outside like a club with a cane. So I don't know, like obviously Mike Tyson is Mike Tyson regardless of his age, but it's not Iron Mike anymore. He's
I think, I don't know how old he is. I think a 70-year-old Mike Tyson could still smoke me.
Yes.
I'm running laps around a 70-year-old Mike Tyson. I'm sorry.
Absolutely not. This is like saying that like Michael Jordan at age 70 wouldn't beat you in basketball.
Basketball is a little less, I think, physically demanding than boxing is.
And boxing?
Yeah, I think that's a fair statement.
I don't think that's an unfair statement, but it is just very different. Like
they're just two completely different sports. One of them is
Yeah, but again, we had an episode, the last episode we had with Jude. I think we're allowed to compare things even if they're not in the same realm of things. I think that's okay. So I think that although boxing is obviously a completely different sport than basketball, I think that one could say
I think you're underestimating the technical component of boxing. If you're saying that, is kind of what I'm thinking.
No, I'm saying that boxing would probably be more. I'm saying that boxing is more difficult than basketball, like than playing ball.
Right, so that would make it even more likely that Mike Tyson would beat you. Because he's devoted hours to
fucking Mike Tyson up, bro. I'm sorry.
It's because he's devoted hours to mastering this harder thing.
70-year-old Mike Tyson is getting. I'm knocking this man out.
I think it would get to I think that fight would get to the point where Comey is going, "Ow,
you're hurting."
It is weird. I mean, I hate that we're now talking about Jake Paul, so I don't want to belabor this point. But it is weird to me that I actually don't know who would win between him and Mike Tyson because I mean, I don't think he's a
Well,
good
Mike,
fighter.
here's the thing. I know exactly what's going to happen. Mike Tyson is going to win handily, but Jake Paul is going to Rocky himself and make it all the way through the fight and not get fucked up the way everyone wants him to get fucked up. He's going to at least show that he's a good enough boxer to fight Mike Tyson. That's what happened with Floyd Mayweather. Like he always gets in these huge fights.
Very different fighters, though. Very different fighters. Because Floyd
Mayweather
Mayweather
is
is like
a much more defensive fighter.
Yeah, he's the best defensive boxer of all time. Mike Tyson is, you could argue, maybe one of the best offensive or pressure fighters. Like his style is just completely different.
No,
well, I met Mike Tyson.
Did you meet Mike Tyson?
You met Mike Tyson?
When I was a kid, I brought my Fight Night Round 3 video game. They were opening up a Title Boxing in Arlington, Virginia, and he was going to come and sign. And my dad took me to meet Mike. My dad's a huge Mike Tyson fan, and he took me to meet him. We got there at like 6 a.m. The line wrapped around the block, but we were one of the first people in line. He was supposed to get there at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. comes and goes. Mike's not there. 1 or maybe 2 hours later, 1.5 hours, 2 hours later, he shows up. He comes around an alley. Everyone starts clapping. He waves. He goes inside. He signs some shit for the employees, and he leaves.
Get out of here. That pissed me off so much.
And I wasn't even mad at Mike Tyson. I was mad at the gym because the gym, he left and the gym didn't say anything. So we're out there for another hour. These kids and everybody, like, we're all waiting to meet Mike Tyson. The gym didn't come out to say, oh, he left. They just let us all wait out there.
And the thing is, like, that seems like such a Mike Tyson thing to do because I think at that age, dude, I don't know if you guys have heard of him. Yeah, can't fucking. I don't know if you guys have heard him on podcasts before, but like the way that he explains his life at like 22, from like 18 to like 25 is just insane. The man felt like a literal god. And so I don't expect somebody who has that type of ego to sit behind a desk and sign fucking shit for random people for like.
And don't say you're gonna do it. Then don't say.
I agree. I just I just wouldn't expect that from Mike Tyson. Anyways, moving off that topic, that was just random. So actually, no, I'll let you guys. I don't know if you guys have anything to like kind of bring to the table.
Do you want to bring John? Do you know about my job?
Oh yeah. You want to talk about that? Yeah.
So I gotta say real quick,
my topics for this week are related to fighting, but not humans fighting. So it could be a good segue to talk about that. Although I do want to hear about your job.
Oh, so you do know a little bit about my job then?
I don't think so.
Are you fighting animals for your job?
Kind of.
Actually, wow, we got a whole theme for this podcast unintentionally. Start with your job. It'll segue into what I'm going to bring to the table.
I got down to Tampa and I started panicking because I didn't have a job. So I have a fucking terminal degree. I have a master's degree, and I was applying.
Yeah, but
hang on.
In theater.
Yeah, but in classical acting from the #1 in the country.
What?
That's debate.
#1 classical acting MFA. #1.
That's
also I equate having
that's for the Hollywood Reporter.
I equate having a master's in theater degree to like having a doctorate or a PhD in theater and being on an airplane and somebody's like, "Oh my God, he passed out. Is there a doctor?" You're like, "I am in theater."
Is there a master?
Is there a doctor? You're like, "I am in theater." So
no, that's not what I mean. What I mean is, like, obviously I know that and I'm not going to get a job in the corporate world with that, but I could apply to schools and get pretty easily into be an adjunct professor somewhere with that degree and that experience.
Agreed. Sure.
But I just don't want to do that. So I got down here and I was fucking applying with my resume to these temp agencies for like construction jobs.
And about to wear a hard hat, man. That's what's up.
And then I was like, well, what do I like to do? What do I enjoy? And I was like, I like animals a lot. So while I'm auditioning down here and while I'm trying to get this pilot thing going, why don't I work with animals? So I called the Tampa Zoo. And all of their jobs were kind of shitty, like manatee caretaker. That's not shitty. What I'm talking about. That's fucking awesome. But they were also looking for people to do like come in and do like internship programs that may become a job later on.
Man, like, I can't fuck. I'm a master, dog. The
I said,
fuck?
yeah, that's what I said. I have a master's in classical acting. I'm better than this. And so I looked up reptile zoo near me, and there's a place in Tampa called Crocodile Encounters.
Yeah.
And I called them. I said, "Are you guys hiring? I can start anytime." And they said, "No, we're not hiring right now. But if you send us your resume, how about you can come in and we'll give you a tour of the zoo, and then you give us a resume. We'll call you if we have anything." It's like, cool. I go there, got a free tour of the zoo, gave them my resume. They ended up interviewing me for 2 hours. And in
I
2
feel
hours,
like at that point, that's arguably too long of an interview.
well, here's why. In 2 hours, they went from saying we don't have a job to I now run the zoo.
Oh, oh,
Fucking ridiculous.
Wait, I'm sorry. What they did a peaceful handover of power?
Yeah.
No, so they're the owners. They're the
This
owners.
motherfucker said, "I am the crocodile hunter now."
Wait, this is straight up a plot line in The Office.
They they're the owners, and they're gone all the time because they lend their alligators and crocodiles to zoos all up and down the East Coast. So they're gone all the time doing parties, doing shows of the reptiles, going all over the country with their animals, and they're going all up and down the East Coast picking up and dropping off alligators that they're donating and lending to different zoos. So they're not around, and the only people who are there to take care of everything are their small team of zookeepers. So now my job is business development for the zoo itself. I'm going to start a marketing program. I'm going to start figuring out grants and grants management so I can pull all that in. And on top of that, I'm running all of the animal care. So I have 125 alligators and crocodiles.
That's so many.
Oh, dude, it was the scariest thing.
1 second. There's the video. I'm gonna add the video into this of you fucking with the crocodiles.
And what happened was last night I got a call from John who said, "Hey, there's one crocodile enclosure that has 75 within probably a quarter, if not a fifth of an acre enclosure. A very small enclosure, and there's 75 alligators in that one because they like to travel in herds."
Sure, but there's 75 in a fifth of an acre enclosure.
Yeah.
So they're just like stacked on top of each other.
Pretty much.
Jesus. And
Well,
I assume you're sorting that out as somebody who loves animals.
No, it's actually totally fine. That's actually what they like to do. And the zoo is fully AZA accredited.
You were gonna get us canceled by PETA.
PETA would hate. PETA hates all zoos.
I know, but our podcast is now going to be protested by PETA.
So it's a great. It's actually a great enclosure, and it's a great zoo. And the alligators are all happy. They're all well fed. There's just so fucking many of them. And now, granted, there are times where there are pods of alligators. There are that many, usually in one space as well. But I got a call from the owner saying a board broke in the enclosure. Can you go fix it? The zookeeper who's there is nervous because they keep coming at him.
But he's the fucking zookeeper. What the fuck are they expecting you to do about it?
Well, they needed somebody to come and like help him while he was repairing it. So I get there. The zookeeper doesn't know how to repair the board. He doesn't know how to hammer it in. So I got there at night. All of a sudden, I go into the cage. I get this like paddle, and there are 75 alligators just turn and look at me and start swimming towards me.
Wait, importantly, gators, not crocs.
These are gators. We have crocodiles too, but these are gators.
Okay. Yeah. It's somehow significantly less scary.
Dude, the fucking crocodile there will kill you. The crocodile. If you
wait. Why are alligators more or less scary than crocodiles?
They're way smaller and way less aggressive. I mean, they're still very aggressive and could kill you, but
they're aggressive. They were coming after me. They would have tried to hurt me if we weren't pushing them back. But the crocodile, if you step in the crocodile cage, it's just gonna run at you.
Fuck, bro, get the fuck out of here.
And it's a 14-foot Nile crocodile we have.
This man went to Florida and said, "Give me the most fucking Floridian job you have. I would like to be Florida man."
I feel like you're rivaling the Tiger King now. Like you're basically the Crocodile King.
Well, they're not mine, and so I don't own them. I'm just kind of managing the zoo, but the zoo aspect of the whole company. But Dude, it's a lot of fun. Over the weekend, I was at the Florida Renaissance Festival, and I had all the animals there. And I was
You
the
brought your
only person-
crocodile?
Yeah, I was the only person there. He brought the alligator. The owners were off
No,
doing something else.
you were the only person there. Everybody saw the crocodiles and just
Oh yeah,
headed out to greener pastures.
no, all the owners and everybody were doing other things. One of the zookeepers called in sick, so I was by myself. This is my first weekend working with just snakes and alligators in this Renaissance festival. I'm just handing them to kids.
What
Saying,
the fuck, man?
For $5, you can hold the alligator.
I'm sorry.
I would pay $5 to hold an alligator. That's
I
cool.
I taped his mouth, so everything was fine.
There's not enough money you could pay me to like one, work that job, or two, just like fucking handle alligators all day. Fuck that. Like I'm not. Why put myself in that situation? It doesn't make any sense. Y'all are crazy, man. And by y'all I mean tiki
Brett.
torch whites.
Here,
Brett,
John,
do you think
say-
at some point they might adopt you as one of their own, and you might kind of slowly start becoming like a crocodile?
I hope so.
Crocodile. Well, that's Brett's update. That's pretty cool.
That's Brett's update. That's incredible. That's the kind of thing that only happens to Brett.
That's what I'm fucking saying, man. I don't know what's wrong
And
with this dude, man.
I don't know how he does this.
Yeah, I don't fucking know.
The
went
man
from-
he has moved states and within a week is running a zoo.
Yeah, he went from I don't have a job, I'm leaving New York, I don't have a fucking job, to moving to Florida, Tampa, Florida, and running a fucking crocodile zoo. I don't understand how not even, you know what? Fuck that. He went from I need a job. Are you guys happen to be hiring any zookeepers? Them saying no, but you can come in and check out the place for free. Goes in, talks to the people for 2 hours, and then essentially is running the fucking crocodile zoo. Brett, I applaud you.
They better, and you know what? They better give me a raise. They better, because you know what I did today? I made 105 cold calls to daycare programs and summer programs, and I got 28 field trips booked.
God damn. Good for you, man.
Brett, I have a question for you with your expertise. Do you, Brett, think that Comey could bench press a crocodile?
Come on, bro. Stop.
Baby, a couple babies.
I'm doing it. You don't think I could okay. Now since we're doing this, I wouldn't pick up the crocodile on purpose, but if I'm benching it, I'll fuck it up. But you don't think I could bench a crocodile? Stop it, Brett. Like,
A fully grown adult, I'm saying.
So we're talking about 1,000-pound adult crocodile. Yeah, Comey, I think you know what? To shut Comey up, Comey, you got it.
Look, if the situation showed itself and a baby happened to be in danger with the crocodile, I'm benching that fucking crocodile. I don't know what else to say. But yeah, let me see.
Comey, do you also think that they should have sent you in when Harambe was killed?
Nah, that's different. I'm not fucking with it.
Comey would have made sure both the gorilla and the kid died.
They shoot Harambe. I'm like, what about him? He started it.
John, I just sent you the videos of me fucking with the alligators.
Is this something where I should watch it while on pod or just on my own time?
Whatever you want.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I'll add it into the video later, or I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how.
Okay. I mean, I have a bunch of these kinds of questions for you guys today. I came up with them, some of them I've like talked about with people before, but I came up with them kind of on the train, and I just thought it'd be kind of funny to see your guys' reaction. And this ties in so well. So first up, I just want to ask: do you think just your average grown man, let's say 30-year-old grown man in normal physical shape, no major injuries, not super fit, maybe he goes for a jog a couple times a week?
Are we talking like somebody who might be named like Nathan, something like that?
Sure, yeah, your regular Nathan type.
Okay, gotcha.
Could they take on 10, 12-year-olds in arena style combat?
Are we doing this right now?
Yeah, we're doing this right now. Honestly, but there's no weapons involved.
Yeah. I'm gonna say 10, 12-year-olds, they're too old. 12-year-olds can get pretty big, so I'm gonna be like, nah. Now it depends on who it is, right? If it's me, I'm fucking those 12-year-olds up. Like they got no fucking chance. But if it's like a regular, like run-of-the-mill dude, like some dude named fucking, I don't know, rhymes with Brathan. I don't
Bathan.
Yeah, he's getting his ass fucked. He's getting fucked up. You know, probably
Yeah,
he probably take on like three or four
can't
kids.
see. I can't see that. I think we're talking about winning a fight against even 2 or 3 12-year-olds.
So yeah, I don't think most people are fucking up because 12-year-olds can get pretty big, like genuinely, almost 13. You know, fuck you, mom, all that type of.
You know what? You know what he would say.
What?
What would he say?
He would say,
I gotta bleep that out, but that's hilarious. Yeah. Nah. I think it's a great question. It's a great question though, but I don't think the run of the mill dude's fucking up that many 12-year-olds. Sorry.
I think they are.
Why is that?
Because 12-year-olds are so small. Even I I don't know. It's not like I've been hanging out with a lot of 12-year-olds, but I have seen a couple in recent memory, like interacted with a couple in recent memory because I was working with kids doing this daycare stuff last year, and at some of the birthday parties there'd be older siblings and stuff there, and they would join in the activities and stuff. And in my head, when I was 12 or 13, I was really athletic and like I was starting adolescence, and maybe 10 of me could take on an adult. Absolutely not. Like these kids are so light, they're so not strong.
My only thing is if they're coming one by one, I think this is like
no, 10 at a time. 10 at a time.
So this is like the easiest podcast topic, by the way. I think that like we might be the 40,000th podcast to do this. So
yeah,
I just want to put that out there. But with that said,
it's low hanging fruit.
What I will say is if you think about it, let's say that let me bring out this calculator real quick, okay? Let's say that each no, I'm getting a call. Let's say that each kid is about what, like 85 pounds, maybe. We'll just, I don't know, what's the average 12-year-old? 85 times, you said 12-year-olds?
Yeah, 10.
That is 1,000 pounds. Now, I'm bench pressing them, no fucking problem, right? But your average run-of-the-mill dude, like, he's probably getting fucked. 1,000 pounds is a lot of weight to be just, like, pressed on you at once. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if all the kids are coming from all sides and they just fucking jump at you, like, you're probably getting fucked up. Now, if they're coming in waves, that's different. You can fucking pop, kick one. You know what I'm saying? Fucking...
Well, so this is what I'm saying. They can try to come 10 at a time, but you can stop them from doing that.
How so? You don't have any weapons. You're just using your hands?
You trip them, you push one into another,
Okay, you're saying
you pick one up and whack the other kid with him.
Okay, they're not that light. You're
you're
doing
one absolutely hand. Are. Comey, you could pick up a 12-year-old with one hand.
It's me though. That's the difference. This is gonna be a running joke, but I don't know. I think you're underestimating these 12-year-olds. I will say that if you're like, can you fuck up 2 or 3 12-year-olds? Of course, who can't?
Without a doubt,
no question. But 12 of them, it's a lot of weight in my. It's just the mass of them is my thought. There's a lot of them, you know.
All right. Well, we can move on from this well-trodden podcast.
My favorite one of those was would you rather take on a mean rabid raccoon every time you got in or out of your car, or would you rather take on an angry gorilla once a year?
The raccoon, absolutely.
The raccoon, 100%.
The gorilla's gonna fuck you up, dude.
You'll just die the one time.
Just like that.
The gorilla will. The gorilla
is either
will
a nuisance.
Nah, go ahead.
It's like it's either a nuisance all the time, or would you rather just hope once a year that you'll be okay?
No, I'd take the. Also, I just stopped driving. Why like put yourself through that all the time? I just like have a car or something. A bike or something.
Now, Comey, you didn't answer the way I expected, because since it's you, I feel like you could take the gorilla and then you don't have to deal with the nuisance.
We already talked about the Harambe thing. I'm not fucking with a gorilla. You got me fucked up. Punch you in the fucking.
He can bench press a car, but he wouldn't fight an ape.
Yeah, because the car's not going to fight back.
Which brings me to my next question. Would you rather fight a gorilla with a saw or a bear with a knife? You have the saw or the knife.
I thought the bear had the knife in its mouth.
Saws are way too flimsy. I don't trust them.
Okay, maybe a hammer.
How about an axe?
Yeah, I mean, 100% you're taking the axe.
Yeah.
Then the animal doesn't matter.
Fair enough.
He's like, what about a gun? What about an AK-47?
Exactly. What about a grenade?
Yeah.
What about a smart gun?
bear with a knife. I don't know. I think you might still get fucked up.
I like that John said he's got a lot of topics for the episode. It's all just different scenarios.
Yeah, how to fuck animals up.
It's literally one topic. It's one topic.
Would you fight things? Nah, I'm taking. I'm not fuck again. I'm not fucking with the gorilla. It's gonna have to be the bear and the knife. I think you might stand a chance between the bear and the knife.
I agree. I completely agree. And this is important.
It's like a pocket knife, or are we talking like a nice, like hefty, like Bowie knife? You know what I'm talking about? Like a.
I don't know.
Machete.
Oh, I'm taking the fucking machete. I'm fucking that bear up. We're having bear stew tonight. Fuck that.
Well, also, I mean, just on a practical level, people survive bear attacks. I've never heard of anybody surviving even a chimp attack.
Yeah, the chimp can.
Lady
as Joe
who got her
Rogan,
face taken off survived.
No, fair enough. Okay,
her face.
but that's a
taken
chimp.
Yeah, but that's a chimp.
But that's a chimp.
He was also a baby.
Yeah, exactly. But people survive bear attacks like that. It's not super common, but it happens.
Yeah, because they maul you until they're not mad anymore and they walk away.
Yeah, exactly.
And their secret is they're always mad.
Yeah, there you go.
I was gonna say
when I was interviewing for the job here, the guy said, "Are there any animals we have that make you uncomfortable?" I said, "Yeah, all of them." I've never worked with crocodilians before. I said I could do snakes and venomous stuff all day long, but like, I don't want to fuck around with an animal that the scientific term for how it kills something is called a death roll.
The death roll. Yeah. I was gonna ask about that, Brett, because you don't. Even when we were in San Diego and you had all those creatures in your room, it was all snakes and chameleons and lizards and stuff like that. Chameleons are lizards, I know. They are, yeah. Anyways, doesn't matter. Crocodiles, alligators, a very different kind of ball game, and so I'm curious. I get why you said yes to this, but I am curious if you're fully qualified for it, because I know you, not. Brett. Yeah, I know you, Brett, can learn to be qualified for it, and you have lots of experience with reptiles. I'm not saying like you're more qualified for it than Comey or me, but how do you feel?
I don't have any training with crocodilians. I'm not qualified to work hands-on with crocodilians.
Yeah, so do you question this company at all, or are you trying to turn it around yourself? Or
so here's the thing. I'm never going to go in there and jump on an alligator's back. I do know a lot about how to keep reptiles, and keeping a alligator is very similar to keeping any other sort of large lizard like that, which I'm very accustomed to. We don't just have the alligators. We have large, big tegus and monitors and mean iguanas. We have everything, and big snakes. So I'm never going to be the crocodile guy that goes in there and jumps on their back and does a show with them. But I am in charge of the animal care.
Who the fuck is jumping on the back of the crocodiles?
John, the owner.
Oh, get the
one of the alligators.
To be clear, not me.
Yeah, no, the owner of the owner of the zoo. He one of the alligators we have is 1,300 pounds and 18 feet long, and it's in the top 5 biggest alligators in the world. And I have the keys to his cage right over there. But no, I will never be going in that cage. I'm not qualified to do that. And last night when he asked me to go fix the board, I said I'll go in there with the zookeeper who has handled them before. I'm not going to go in by myself.
But there are people, at least one, hopefully more,
3
at this zoo who are qualified.
There are 3. There are 2 of the 4. 2 of the zookeepers and the 2 owners have lots of crocodile experience.
Got you. Cool.
See, I don't. I'm just there to make sure that their cages get clean, to make sure the zookeeper's doing what it's supposed to do.
Yeah, you're just running all the day-to-day stuff.
But I'm not doing anything crazy dangerous.
Yeah, cool.
Oh, you mean like
maybe
someday fucking handling 70-something fucking crocodiles? That's not dangerous.
See, that was different because I was in there with somebody, and it was dangerous. It wasn't 100%.
Okay, so you both will get fucked up then. That's it. The fuck? I was in there with him. Who gives a fuck?
Did Corey Ann take out a life insurance policy recently?
No, but she did the other night at 3 a.m. wake me up and go, "Are you gonna get eaten?" I was like,
That's kind of sweet.
Well, she's worried because the wedding hasn't happened yet, so she's like,
why is every job you want dangerous as fuck? Why can't you just be an actor?
Tell her that's the most dangerous job in the world. I'm on a tightrope every time I'm on stage.
Oh my fuck.
Yeah, walking in another person's consciousness
Yeah.
is the psychological damage you can do.
I'm not going to name anybody, but Comey remembers this. There was one person that we were in class with once who said, and because acting, excuse me, I know we all agree with this, but acting, it's the hardest job in the world.
Yeah. It's don't tell underwater welders anything, but you know.
The hardest part of acting is the periods of time when you're not doing it.
Yep.
The hardest part of
It's not the job itself.
And then
the
she's
hardest
going,
part
the imposter syndrome that you feel, and then make feeling like you're not good. I'm like, tell that to a coal miner that you don't feel good enough.
the hardest part of acting is memorizing your lines. That's the hardest part of acting. Forgetting the words on the paper. That's the hardest part. That's the most difficult part of acting. That's pretty much it. Every other part is pretty simple. Um, but yeah. Anyways, I wanted to talk. This is gonna be like kind of out of left field, so I apologize. But fuck it, we're gonna talk about it anyways because we're getting close to election time. We got to talk about Uncle Trump and cousin Biden.
You're not
So
going to hear much from me because I really don't know anything about politics.
for sure, no, the it's more of like a general idea that's being thrown around, and I've been meaning to bring this up for probably like 2 months now. I just keep forgetting. Probably since like the first podcast, but probably not the best topic
Are
for
you
the
going to bring up
podcast.
the best of both worlds thing?
No, no, not at all. I I
The
there's
lesser
like
of two
this.
evils?
Jesus, Brett. You know what, you tell us about the fucking, go ahead, you tell us about the topic. Go.
So I think
Yeah, so nah. So the thought is a lot
No,
of
actually,
people.
before you even start, I was talking with my
Okay,
sparring partner the other day about
all
about some of
right,
these things, and he made some
fucking
really good points.
all right, Joe Rogan. So so the point is a lot of people who are either, I would say a lot of people on the left. The idea is look, vote blue no matter who, right? So I don't know if you guys have heard that before. That's just like a term, like a talking point of a lot of people who are Democrats or on the left. And I think it's an interesting point, or an interesting talking point for a lot of these people. And I find it so strange that like we do live in a democracy, but at the same time, obviously we have two of the most popular parties, either Republican or Democrat. And a lot of people feel like if you vote any other party, whether it be the Peace Party, the Green Party, you know, a third candidate, then you're wasting your vote essentially. And I find that to be like such a weird thing. And I just wanted to get you guys' opinion on it. I do you think that at the end of the day, if you do vote for somebody who is not one of these two candidates, it's a waste of a vote? And if so, like, how do you reconcile that as an American first and foremost, but like as somebody who's trying to hopefully steer the country in the right direction?
It's a hard ass question.
you're British, so you can't really answer.
I mean, I can vote.
Oh,
I'm
wait,
not, it's not, I didn't sacrifice my citizenship when I moved here.
you
Yeah,
absentee?
not yet, not yet.
I just went to the consulate. I was like, "Here, take my passport. I want one of the British ones."
You
And they said,
international.
You just switch them out.
Mail your absentee vote.
Yeah. I mean, I basically, I think, I haven't really looked at the process for it. I should go do that. But there's a whole means for voting internationally. But to answer your question, Comey, I have a feeling, you know, if we actually talk about this a little bit, I might change my thoughts. But one, I think because it's such a partisan system, if you accept that and you recognize that on the Republican side, they vote red no matter who, there's some validity in the idea that like it's good to counteract that by doing that vote blue no matter who thing.
I find that
Especially because
I find that so faulty though. You know,
I agree. I find it faulty on a like theoretical and intellectual level of how I would want the country to operate and what I believe like the principles it's supposed to be founded on are, but that's not the country it is in reality. And I think with something like voting, it's best to just embrace it as it is and then do other things to change whatever issues you have with the country, but keeping some sense of stability as opposed to the just nuclear option of a Trump figure, I think is helpful if you want to be able to change things
It bothers
in
me
those
so
other
the
ways.
reason I don't know why it bothers me. Well, I know why it bothers me because I'm fucking living in the country, but it bothers me so much that like you only have two valid options. Like it's such a weird fucking
I
way for
completely agree. I think it should bother you. It bothers me too. Don't get me wrong. I don't disagree with you
Actually,
about that
I
at
actually
all.
do have something to say.
yeah.
I wouldn't. So I changed my party to independent because I didn't want to be associated. I think both extremes are nuts. And
I'm
so
also independent.
I changed my party to independent, which means I can't vote in the primaries, which sucks. But one of the things that I understand about the vote blue, and even though I'm independent, the reason why it's always going to be hard for me to vote Republican is strictly free because of Supreme Court. Because if you have a Republican president, they're going to put in a Republican Supreme Court member, and the Supreme Court votes on very social issues, and I tend to be very socially left.
Yeah. Also,
When
this has all
how
already happened. Like, there's a conservative majority in the Supreme Court right now.
right.
Yeah.
So
And
I mean with that said, even if
and
I'm
then
not
of course, now we put in a Supreme Court majority that's Republican, and then you lose Roe v. Wade, and you lose all these things that I'm a huge supporter of. Though
when
that's the reason I would have a hard time continuing to voting for Republican and continuing to have a Republican Supreme Court. That's all that that's the reason why I agree with it a little bit.
now I'm not I think I know the answer to this, but let me just clarify for myself. If let's say that Trump wins the election and becomes the president again, he there's no way for him to appoint another Supreme Court justice. They're already filled.
Yeah. Any number of them could die or
leave or die.
Yeah, that
retire
no,
in his
that's
next term.
that's what I'm saying. It's not just like he's just picking someone. They have to die within the next 4 years. So
they're all old as fuck.
Yeah, and I mean, even putting that aside, just the possibility of that happening is, I would
I
say,
see.
just that is worth trying to keep somebody like that out of office.
And then if we put in another Republican to the Supreme Court, you're just delaying Roe v. Wade to be overturned again.
Yeah,
Look,
and then I think
I
if
understand that. No, go ahead, John.
if you add in environmental policy, like I would say like instability around nuclear warheads, like friendliness.
I'm not just saying Roe v. Wade is the only thing that I am
Yeah, no, I know. I'm just
the most
listing off
important
other
thing. It's the
reasons,
most
other
important thing to
really
plan.
big things that are important
Yeah.
to be thinking about. And like, I
Sure.
mean, with somebody like Trump specifically, like the weird alliance shit with Putin, the general association with other autocratic leaders of the world, the hawkish foreign policy, and it all just kind of adds up in a way where it's not like voting for a rational candidate, or it's not like there is a rational candidate on that side and then somebody's just being like, well, it's blue no matter who, right? It is working with something else entirely and going, that's an apolitical thing. It's a moral thing at that point to be voting against that.
Yeah, I feel like kind of it's a weird place to be because like you have an individual who is probably not of sound body and mind as the president of the free world essentially, and what does that mean for like the people who essentially he rules over? Because like I mean obviously he's a president, but he is the commander in chief at the end of the day. So um I think that also comes down to like kind of setting term limits for presidents, the same way that you have to be what like 30, I think,
There
to
are
become
term limits for presidents.
not sorry, I mean age limits. I apologize
Okay.
for presidents. So I think like stopping people from like the age of like 70, maybe you should not be able to be the president anymore. Because I'm sorry, but if you can set a certain limit for people who can become the president before you have to be a certain age to become the president, then there should be an age limit for being the president.
Yeah, or you
like,
could just have like some sort of fitness test,
well,
like fitness to lead.
Well, they do the fitness test. Well, they don't they don't do it
They all
for
do
like
they make them do the
Yeah. I'm
basic
picturing
test.
them all taking the presidential fitness test,
back
I
in
was-
fifth
10
grade.
pull-ups, and running a mile.
Sorry, Mr. President, you can't.
I want to see them do the pacer test. Just
The
Donald
beep
Trump.
test.
Yeah.
No, so they do have that. They do have the physical test for the presidents now, but it's more of like honestly, like a talking point to be like, oh, he's of sound body and mind. Like Trump did it when he was president, right? He was like, I'm 220 pounds. Like you're clearly not 220 pounds, but okay, buddy. So things like that.
I think I meant more mental.
Cognitive. Yeah, no, they do that as well. They do it for Biden as well.
To be president, you have to do 3 pull-ups.
To run a mile in like at least 8 minutes. I don't know. I just it's so conflicting. Like just being in this whole thing where
I think there's another layer too. I actually forgot to list, which is that Trump actively wants to break down the voting system. And so if you want a vote, there's sort of an argument to be made in voting against him, right? Like if you're stirred up by the fact that there's an issue in the voting system where it kind of comes down to these two parties, and it's even a talking point to say just vote along party lines. It's one thing to be upset about that, but that also, I would say, should be upset about the idea of having a vote taken away from you, right? And you have a candidate who wants to do that, and that I would say then that creating the best chance to prevent that candidate from being able to do that would be in your interest.
Right? I will also say that a lot of look, I'm not swayed either way. I don't really care for either of them, to be completely honest with you. But oh god, what was I gonna say? Oh, I think that the dude is he just says the first thing that comes to his mind a lot of the times, and he has no filter, obviously. And like 80% of the shit that probably like 90% of the shit that he says is just
I'm staying at Corian's grandmother's house right now, and there was a repair person who came over to do some floor work, and she was like a 65-year-old lady doing the floors over here. And all of a sudden they start talking about Trump, and she goes, I know Trump. I know he doesn't say the right things, but when he was president, everything was kosher. And I said, please don't use the word kosher when describing Trump.
Look, all I'm saying is the dude's like, if you handed him a mic and he did an open mic, he'd probably be a really good comedian. You know what I'm saying? But as the leader of the free world, not the best person to
He was a comedian. He was an entertainer.
Yeah, but not like actively on stage doing sets, you know?
No, but he was very clearly the comedic relief of his own TV show.
Yeah.
Like he was very funny and over the top.
Our country is going to a really dark place. Fuck it. Yay, that's why we have this podcast. Yay.
All right. I have something I want to say, and it's kind of a topic. And if it's too, again, it's kind of it's another
just say it. Who gives a fuck? If we need to
it's another one it's another tough one. If we need to cut it, we cut it.
Sorry to interrupt this fantastic conversation that we're having during this podcast, but I just wanted to say that this certain conversation here about the Oscars, it makes no fucking sense. Brett didn't do any research about anything. We're just talking. So we ended up texting a few days after the fact, after having done this podcast, and John's like, yo, we sound like idiots during the podcast. Lily Gladstone was nominated for Best Actress, not Supporting Actress. So this whole conversation that you're going to hear for the next like 15, 20 minutes, it makes no fucking sense. But just imagine that it does, okay? Anyways, this is Comey, and this is the fucking podcast. I don't know what to say. Enjoy.
But I have some feelings about the Oscars.
I'm getting better at editing. Fuck it. We can say anything.
I have some feelings. I have some feelings about the Oscars too, but I'm wondering if they're aligned.
My feelings are about Best Supporting Actress.
Who won?
Yeah, I agree that. Wait about Best Supporting Actress.
Yes, Davine Joy won.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Did you
and
see the Holdovers, by the way?
No, I didn't. I haven't. I want to watch it.
John, did you end up seeing it?
The only movie that I saw that got nominated for an Oscar was Oppenheimer. I hadn't seen any. That's the only movie I saw this year.
Okay, then, but it's a little wild you're bringing this up then.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
It's the podcast is called The Hill to Die On. Go ahead, Brett. Say whatever the fuck you want.
It's political. That's why.
Say it with your chest.
I've seen so many people online who think it should have gone to Lily Gladstone for Killers of the Flower Moon. I've not seen either of the movies. I can't say anything about their performances, except I saw clips of both movies, and they both look fantastic. The acting, both of their performances look great. So I'm not going to take anything away from anybody. I don't have anything to say about whether or not of who should or should not have won the Oscar.
Say it with your chest, Brett. Say it with your chest, bro.
You think it should have been America Ferrera for Barbie?
I think yes. No. I'm no. This is actually legit. Like, even if I haven't seen the movies, like, actually, what I have to say is actually legit. People online I'm seeing, and people in our friends list, Comey,
yeah,
are saying that the whites took it from Lily Gladstone. I've
Okay,
seen people
what?
whites.
Okay, first of all,
well, hang on. We took it from Lily Gladstone because she would have been the first Native American woman to win an Oscar. And I see people say the whites took it from us to give it to what? A black woman?
To give it to a black woman?
Yes.
That makes no sense
That's what
whatsoever.
I'm saying. Yeah, that's my point.
I mean, I agree. Actually, I fully agree with you on that, Brett. I have not seen Killers of the Flower Moon. I have seen Holdovers, and I think I think Divine is really, really good in it.
Yeah.
And it's truly like no.
And I've seen her on Broadway. She's awesome. She's great.
Yeah, and I have no qualm with Lily Gladstone. I think there's a world in which I see Killers of the Flower Moon and I'm like, she should have won. Doesn't really matter. To say that somehow that's like a stolen award based on that particular kind of racial politics feels a bit extreme.
Do you think that would have more validity if America Ferrera won? Is she white? I don't know if she's white.
No, she's not. She's not. So my issue with that is just her performance. I just don't think she's very good in Barbie.
No. So my question is for Brett. Sorry, Brett. If that comment was like, "Oh, the white stole it from us," which is honestly a hilarious statement in general. It's funny, but if that statement was made and it was about if a white actress won the best supporting actress, whatever, that's what the Academy calls it, would you still feel that way? Would you feel like, oh, they like relax? It goes to the best performer.
It would have more weight because the fact that Lily Gladstone won the Golden Globe and then all of a sudden, oh, she didn't win this, it went to some white actress again. It would have more weight. But the fact that they gave it to a black person, and still, just because it didn't go to this one person, we're going to blame it on the whites.
Yeah, I also really don't. I think my issue with that is it's the same thing that happened with the controversy around the Barbie nominations. I think we might have even talked about this in another podcast, but it's that is kind of demeaning towards the people who do win, who are of an underrepresented identity. It just is so diminishing of Divine Joy Randolph's performance.
And I haven't seen the movie. I'm assuming she was excellent, but you're taking things away from her performance by saying, well, the only reason you won it was because of the whites.
Yeah, it's like, why can't you just be happy for her and sad that Lily Gladstone didn't win, even though that's what she wanted? That's pretty intense. I just kind of tearing down another racial minority to build up your own is.
I also know I don't know if this is like a type of rhetoric that's being circled online or just like in our friend group, because that's different, like if it's just our friend group, then that's just
I've seen it because it was a repost from a bunch of different articles.
Oh, I see. Well, fuck them. I don't know what to say. Whatever. It don't matter. Their opinion doesn't really matter that much, really.
My thoughts, Brett, are largely that I think Oppenheimer won way too much.
You don't like,
and I liked
Nolan,
Oppenheimer.
I don't know what to tell you, bro.
I didn't see the other movies, so I can't.
Yeah,
John's a Christopher Nolan hater. It's not that big of a
no.
deal.
I'm not. I liked Oppenheimer a lot. I left that movie like thrilled and really, really enjoyed it. And it won way too many categories.
I was happy Robert Downey Jr. won. Even though, again, I didn't see the other movies, so I can't say who should have won. But I was happy he won.
Honestly, Brett, I kind of want you to just be making claims at this point.
Yeah, I thought that he was much better than Robert De Niro. I thought Robert De Niro's won too many Oscars. Robert Downey Jr. has been nominated 4 times. He's never won before, and he was excellent in that movie. I'm glad he won.
There you go.
And then he gave a boring ass speech where he just thanked people. I'm like, you're Robert Downey Jr. Couldn't do something fun.
What do you want him to do?
You want him to become Iron Man on stage?
Oh, could have done like a heel click or something.
Sorry, Comey, what
go
did you say?
where? I said coke on stage and go
Oh,
where?
nice.
I don't know, just off stage.
uh oh god, what was I gonna say? I was gonna say something about the Oscars too. Ah, fuck it, who cares? I had a random topic to bring in as well, and this is like I think we've had this conversation before, like probably over text, but it's something that's like kind of pissing me off recently, and I think I'm only like just bringing in things that are just upsetting me to this podcast. But what's been pissing me off lately is like the whole like tip culture is really upsetting me. Um, just tipping in general. And I know John, you obviously have a different opinion on this because you're in the British land, the land of the British. So it's a bit different over there. I would hope, but going to like having to decide whether or not I want to go to a coffee shop and spend $8 for a fucking coffee, or like order it on the app and not have to pay. You know what I'm talking about? Like Starbucks, for instance, or whatever. Like I shouldn't have to think about that. That shouldn't be something that I have to like kind of make life or death decisions about. I think it's ridiculous.
I
And
think I think I I feel interesting about this because I left before like the huge rise of the thing with the iPad where they turn it around and have you tip there.
I don't think you did, because even
No,
when
it existed. It existed. I had seen it,
okay,
but
yeah, yeah,
I left and I came back and it was just everywhere, and it was like $5 tips, and it blew my
it's
mind.
ridiculous. Like you'll
Yeah,
go to a shop, you'll go. It's not even like they're not even serving you. They're not even like you'll go to a shop, you wait in line, you order, and then they flip the fucking iPad around and they just look at you like this, and they're like, "Are you gonna tip?" It's like, bitch, no,
Oh,
I'm
no,
not gonna
you don't
fucking
even
tip.
know. You don't even know the most egregious bullshit in the world at Newark Airport. There's a lot of the kiosks and little stores there are self-serve. So there's just like
Bro,
some
that shit is
sandwiches.
it pisses me off so
It's like
much. Like,
there's like some sandwiches and some water bottles and shit in there, and then you can you just there's nobody who works there. You just scan it and then just pay yourself. And at the end, you scan it, you put everything in your bag, and then it says how much would you like to tip.
bro,
And there's nobody working there. Who's getting the tip? The
who's getting the
robot?
tip? That's what I'm saying. Also, I feel the same way about like, and I've been saying this for years, but everything's becoming more and more autonomous. That's fine. I don't care. But why are prices going up if I'm the one scanning everything?
there is I think
If
a
I go
kind
to
of
Target, if I go to
rough layer to this where I think a big part of it is minimum wage for tip workers is so significantly low compared to regular tip wage. So I think in California it's like $2 an hour for tip
yeah,
workers.
No,
no, it is.
Yeah,
My sister was working at
really?
Denny's. My sister was
yeah,
working at like IHOP for like a month, and she was like, "Fuck this," but it was like $2 an hour. Yeah,
yeah.
it's
And then
low.
you get your tips, and it does make up for it to a degree. And if you're in a good tipped gig, it can make up for it a lot. But I part of me kind of wonders if that iPad thing allows that business to pay their employees $2 an hour because they become tip workers, even in those settings where it's not a service setting.
It shouldn't be up. I'm sorry. This is like obvious. This is a topic that's been kind of ran through the ground, but it should not be up to the customers to fucking pay a livable wage to your employees.
No, I
That there
completely
should be
agree. I
there should
completely
be
agree.
no world in which your employees are getting paid $2 an hour. That's fucking absurd. Like, so handing the bill off to I've seen like uh there's what's it called? I saw a receipt online on like Twitter like 6 or 7 months ago where somebody was like looking at their bill, and then on the bill was like a surcharge for employee healthcare. And it's like, what the fuck? What are you doing? Are you not embarrassed? Like Sebastian Maniscalco would say, are you not embarrassed? That's crazy. Like, I shouldn't be paying your employees' wages, but also that I shouldn't be having to subsidize your employees' healthcare. That's insane. So, some like governmental change needs to happen because it's getting worse and worse every single time that I go out. Like, you can't even buy a burger and it be like $10. It's gonna be like $18 now, and you don't even get fries with that bitch. Like, come on, man.
Amazon's going to
It's
start sending
absurd.
out the phones and they're going to be taking tips.
Yeah, probably. I'm upset about the whole thing. And
Have you
like
seen Reservoir? Have you seen Reservoir Dogs?
yeah, I've seen Reservoir Dogs.
It's a great opening sequence. Is this very discussion?
I think it's been a while since I've seen Reservoir Dogs, but
It's like a 20-minute extended scene of all the Reservoir Dogs characters.
Oh, they're at. No, I swear to God, I have. They're at the diner, right? They're at the diner.
No, that's Pulp Fiction.
Oh, no, shit. They're at a diner and they're arguing about.
Shit. No, you're right. You're right. No, I've never seen.
Well, fuck you, Brett. Fucking asshole.
Actually, I got to share something with you guys. I'm curious about what the reactions to this are going to be.
Are you in a Quentin Tarantino movie?
Hey,
I fucking wish. No. I've started another podcast.
Nah, you're a fucking liar.
I'm not. I've started a movie podcast with another friend of mine.
Who's his friend?
He's a friend of mine from university. He doesn't believe it exists.
Nah,
it's my imaginary friend.
No.
It's my friend Spencer. I'm not going to talk too much about it because I don't want to use our pod to then.
Well, you're pretty much already doing it now. You're.
No, I'm just saying I have another podcast.
Hang on, is that why you bought a microphone?
No, it's not. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not.
He's like, fuck the initial podcast that I was on, but for this movie podcast, I
no, we haven't recorded it. We've recorded 2 episodes, and I did it with shitty audio as well. I bought the microphone for this because we're well in.
Yeah,
you should use the microphone until at least 7 episodes into the other one.
yeah, just for fairness' sake.
That's hilarious.
I love that.
Yeah. Okay. That's cool. But also, if it takes your time away from this podcast, then
no.
I have no choice. I have no choice but to call Interpol and tell them that you are a dangerous terrorist.
John, can I be a guest? Because I know a lot about movies.
I would love for you to be a guest. Oh, yeah. Both of you are welcome to be guests.
I don't want to be a guest on the podcast.
All right. Well, Brett, you can be a guest. Our first 2 episodes. No, I'm not going to talk more about it.
I'm just very jealous.
It's gonna be one episode. I'll be a guest. The next episode, Jude will be a guest.
That's perfect. Well, or just whoever I'm calling that day.
So how does it? Okay, I feel like you're using this time to talk about the podcast.
I'm not. I just dropped it in, and we can move on. I am not requesting to talk more about.
We're gonna talk about it anyways. So I feel like you're using.
All right, then I feel like you're using this time to bump up my podcast.
No, Comey's just fucking. Comey's butthurt now.
Yeah,
I knew that was gonna happen.
Our hundreds of listeners are gonna be very upset at you because,
he's crying.
Actually,
Comey is crying right now. That's crazy.
Yeah. Go to the next topic. I'm over it already.
All right, one chicken.
Yeah, John. Whatever happened to the whole like am I the asshole thing? John just kind of quit that. We just stopped doing that, huh?
Yeah, I seem to remember the reaction was not very positive from you specifically.
No. Was that maybe?
It was so bad. It was such a bad reaction. He went off and got another podcast.
Yeah,
John. Yeah. I don't know. I don't have anything else. Oh, I saw a funny thing like a few days ago where this lady went into a coma and then she came out of the coma and had a Chinese accent. She was British, by the way. She was British before. So she woke up with a Chinese accent. So I thought that was pretty funny.
She went to bed talking like this. And
stop.
So that's interesting, right? Because he can do the British one, but he can't do the Chinese one, which is interesting.
Yeah, this was our first episode. We talked about this.
No, I know, but
we have to cut all of it.
Yeah, actually, wait, Comey, you did just give me a great thought, which is you know how we didn't release an episode. I kind of think we should have done like what really well-established podcasts do and do like the super cut of best moments, but only 7 episodes in.
Oh, just like
one story.
Wait, of just things that we just cut out, or what do you mean?
No. I think this is definitely a thing with a couple of podcasts I've listened to where when they're not available for whatever reason, they'll like take good bits of multiple episodes that they've published and just put them. It's the laziest thing ever, and put them together and publish it for that week. And I kind of think there's something funny about doing that.
For 7 episodes.
For 7 episodes.
No.
So next time it happens, let's make a little supercut.
I think I have a cool story to. Huh?
What's gonna happen is we're obviously not gonna miss any more episodes because we're obviously all really dedicated to this podcast, right? And although we might have podcasts, although we might have other podcasts on the side that we have with our best friends who we've known for much longer than Brett and I combined, it doesn't matter, right? Because you would care more about this one because you started this one first. I would assume.
Yeah, I do. Should we bring in like on the next episode like a little podcast couples therapist?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Dr. Drew.
Yeah.
Wait, for this podcast and the unreleased one. This podcast with 4 listeners
Yeah.
Yeah.
and an unreleased podcast. We had to bring in Dr. Drew. I do have a cool story, I think, to end the podcast on that we could probably clip into our first TikTok if we want.
Oh yeah, you mean the TikTok that you should have made like 6 months ago?
Oh, I moved to Tampa.
Yeah, that's a good excuse actually.
All right. So I told you guys I had to do that Renaissance festival with the reptiles.
Yeah.
So basically I ran the reptile zoo at the Renaissance festival and I set everything up, put all the animals in there, did all that. But I was the only person there. Nobody was there. Corian came in, volunteered a little bit, and we had one Comey just fucking karate chopped his computer.
Nah, I was killing a fly.
We had one volunteer who was supposed to show up and help me, and he ended up not making it. So it was just me. So all of a sudden there's this kid who keeps showing up, and he became my helper. This just random kid. He just wanted to be my volunteer. He just loved reptiles. I said, "Are you just a visitor here? Are you just a tourist at the Renaissance Festival?" This kid, do you know how sometimes at Renaissance festivals, I don't know if you guys go, but they have the elephant that you can ride?
No, fucking Brad. We don't go to fucking Renaissance festivals. What the fuck?
Well, not just at Renaissance, but like carnivals. Like sometimes there's like a pony ride, an elephant ride, a camel ride.
John, please answer.
I mean, no, I'm also not familiar with that.
Yes.
Well, this kid well, anyway, people who are listening might know. This kid, his family owns the elephant, and they travel to festivals and carnivals and everything all over the country with the elephant. And for $20, you can ride on it. And I was
Isn't
like,
that kind of fucked for the elephant? Isn't there a whole thing about that?
so the elephant, I actually have no idea. That might be a PETA concern. But I had so many questions for this kid about the elephant. And I was like, "Where do you live?" He goes, "Oh, we live in a trailer park." I'm like,
wow.
"Where does the elephant live?" "Oh, she lives out back." This kid was
I
just
want
there.
to ask a question, but I think it might be construed as racist.
Oh,
I might ask it anyways. Okay, I might cut it out.
all right. Yeah, we got to cut that. he was a little white carny.
I would feel better if he was Indian, right? I think that if he was Indian,
Why would you feel better about that?
because at least they're taking care. We know that they're taking care. They hold it as a sacred animal, so they're taking care of the elephant.
That's it. That in itself is a huge assumption.
No, if they're Hindu, I mean, what is the
No, there
assumption
are
there?
really, really poorly treated elephants in India. This is what I'm saying. It's a whole thing.
No, but the Hindus treat their elephants really well.
They don't. Not necessarily.
I'm like 99.
All of the Hindus own elephants, and they treat them well.
I'm not saying they own elephants. First of all, do you guys even know about what Hinduism is like? How
Ever had a dreams that you had
important elephants are in Hinduism?
Do you?
He's sitting here. You guys don't know about Hinduism and the elephants?
No, they're considered like humans who have passed and reincarnated.
Oh, you have never read any Hindu fucking.
I'm telling you, you can Google this shit right now. I'm telling you. So
I don't even know if the word scripture is the right word, but
it's called the Veda. They're called.
I don't actually know, but I think I buy what Comey's saying. But there are still very badly treated elephants in India, even among Hindus.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Right. I mean, it's a whole industry. It's a whole cottage industry to get.
I'm not gonna cut this out, but I will like just kind of chop it up.
No, I'm requesting you cut out this entire section.
No. I'm sure Indian listeners wouldn't mind it at all. So we'll just okay. Anyways, I'm crying. All right. Sorry, that whole conversation will be cut out. Anyways, we'll continuing. Sorry, Brett, you were saying something?
No, I was just talking about this kid who owns an elephant, and he came over, and I had so many questions about what they do with the elephant. They have a whole decked out trailer for how they transport that elephant all over the country. It's up to zoo standards apparently, but I'm like, it's a trailer and an elephant.
This was your story to end the podcast.
I don't know.
What a
It's
shitty
more
story.
I guess if you were there, it would be more interesting.
No, I mean it
probably.
is interesting. I'm curious about this elephant setup.
I didn't even see it. We could.
It's just such a non-button. It's just like it's a fine story, but it just doesn't wrap things up.
Oh my god.
Fucking stop.
All right, I got a lot of editing to do. All right. I don't know. Is there anything else we want to end the podcast on except minus Brett's stupid story about the dumb elephant?
All right. Would you rather fight
Oh God.
one elephant
A year.
a year or one wild boar every time you step out of your car?
Stupid as fuck. I'm not doing none of that shit.
I'd fight the boar and I'd stop driving.
Wow. It's like he just took my answer. All right. Well, we're not gonna release this podcast. This is a pretty shitty podcast.
What? This is a great episode.
Bad episode. Nah, I'm more upset about the whole John having another podcast thing. I feel like we're being cheated on somehow. I don't know how, but
Homie's trying to sound facetious right now, but I can hear in your
means
voice
it.
you're actually peeved about it.
doesn't
means
feel
it.
right.
He doesn't feel right.
I think we need to invite Spencer onto this. But it's like a shotgun.
Yo, how'd
wedding
you know
where-
it was Spencer? Did I say it was Spencer?
No, I just
No.
guessed.
No.
That was a
you
good
said-
guess.
No, you said it was Spencer. I heard you.
Oh, okay.
But you need to invite Spencer on so we can talk to him. It's like that. What movie is that? Bad Boys. You know how they invite the boyfriend over and they like interrogate him.
Yeah. No, I'm super down to invite Spencer on. I think he would really enjoy it. We would have to be extra careful because he very cautious about what he puts out into the world.
Question
we
about
can't- So we
Spencer,
can't talk
real quick,
about.
you know who treats elephants the best?
That's exactly what I was gonna say. He's like, is it the Indians?
Spencer can strictly talk about two topics. He can talk about film and he can talk about what animals he's comfortable fighting.
yeah.
Okay, I'm done. Oh shit!
I don't know how you're going to edit around this. You got to keep something in, unfortunately.
I'll figure it out. It's all
You can edit around this.
Oh my goodness,
All right.
John, do you have
All right.
anything better to
By
end
the
on?
way,
Or-
I'm working
No,
from home
no.
again tomorrow, so I can record tomorrow. And I fucking bought that microphone to come in the morning. So
You want to record tomorrow as well?
if we want, so we can have two in the can.
It'd be nice to bank an episode because you guys just keep falling off the wagon wheel there, and we don't know
Okay,
about.
I have
John's
not
other
fallen off
podcast.
I have not fallen off the wagon wheel once in the past
No,
several weeks.
it has all been me.
Yeah, don't put that on me.
I'm down to record another podcast tomorrow.
I don't think I can tomorrow, but I am happy to do another
Wow,
this.
would you look
I
at
am
that
happy to
shit.
do another this week.
He's got his third recording.
I bet if it was Spencer's podcast, he recorded with him. All right,
Nope.
that's been the podcast, guys. Make sure.
I'm
Make sure
100% getting a text from Comey individually.
Yeah, you are about like. Do you think John's heart is in it?
yeah, he bought the mic. Was it actually for our podcast or not?
What-
Was it for their podcast?
Do you think he like split the money 50-50 with Spencer for the mic?
All right, that's been the podcast, guys. Make sure to check us out on Apple Podcasts. We're on Spotify, and this episode,
John's new podcast is gonna blow up.
God damn it! And this episode will also be on YouTube on Monday. We'll see you in the next episode. Make sure to check out John's podcast. All right, bye.